Welcome to another video. This is Captain Entertainment with the review for God of the Hive. It's book 10 of the Mary Russell series, if I'm not mistaken. I'll check on that and put it in the annotations down below if I'm wrong. But I believe it's book 10. It is the direct sequel to The Language of Bees. It picks up right after The Language of Bees. And in this one, Mycroft Holmes, Sherlock's brother, plays a huge role. It's a direct continuation, finishing off the story from the first book. So if you haven't read The Language of Bees, do not read God of the Hive. If you have read Language of the Bees, this book is amazing. The fact that it is a 5-star book, in my opinion. It flows well. It's written eloquently. There's no real... unlike all her other books, there's no chapter, like verse titles, but it is a very, very well-crafted story. It leads you one way and then swerves you in another, which is important, and all good books should do that. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. Totally going to read The Pirate King next, which is book 11 in the series, and the next book in the series. For me, I will check and see if there's any e-short stories, because this series does have e-short stories that I will read as they fit into the storyline. I will read them as I go. And I love this book. It was intense. At times, it was downright gut-wrenching at times, too. There's something that happens, which I'll discuss in the spoiler section of the review, that makes this book just gut-wrenching and very suspenseful. Very well written. 5 stars. Now, if you haven't read this book, turn off the video now and go read The Language of Bees or God of the Hive, whichever one you have to read, because that is the end of the spoiler-free version of this review. Now, now that everybody's gone, I will now talk spoilers in the review, in that Mycroft Holmes, at a certain point in the book, is presumed dead. An obituary comes out, a body is found in a casket. Holmes is the only one that doesn't believe his brother's dead. But everybody, and King makes it apparent that he's dead. Like, I kept, as a reader, going, well, is he or isn't he? Is he or isn't he? And I'm not going to spoil that part for you, because Mycroft is an expendable character to some degree. So I'm not going to spoil it for you in any degree. Just read the book. But I find the brevity of which she deals with the Holmes brothers, and the gravity in which it takes the situation. Not to mention Damien Adler, who we find out from The Language of Bees is Holmes' son, and Estelle Adler, who is Holmes' grandson, Sherlock's grandson, or granddaughter, grandson, holy cow, granddaughter. They are very integral to the plot. So there's an A plot and a B plot, and both plots are hugely important. And Captain Javits makes return from Language of Bees. There's plenty of characters that make returns. There's a new character in Mycroft's helper, or I should say housekeeper, Miss Cowper, who's interesting in her own right. You meet Lestrade, Inspector Greg Lestrade's son, who is Chief Inspector at Scotland Yard, and does his job to the letter of the law. Like, follows his orders to the letter of the law, which you'll understand what I mean by that when you read the book. I totally recommend reading the book. If you haven't If you read the book, read it again. It's amazing. It flows well. It's written well. It's not a very long book. I think it's only 371 pages, I believe. No, 365 pages. There's a little section that's Pirate King blurb. But it's a great book. It's a 5-star book. This series is magnificent. Lara King writes the way no other author I have found can write. She writes literary, but suspenseful. And that's hard. And she's very, very excellent at it. So, until next time, I'll see you for another video. Happy reading, and continue on.